I'm here today with my friend Charles Crooks, who's a shaman and a healer here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thank you, Charles, for meeting with us and letting me interview again today.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
We've been talking about healing. That's what you are, is a healer. So, for like shaman healing, can you talk about shaman healing? How do you know what is needed to heal a person? How do you know that?
That's really a multifaceted question when you really look at it. First of all, we need to determine the term shaman. Shaman basically is the tribal holy man, the healer and that type of stuff. So you can have processes that involve certain techniques. There's Reiki, there's energy movement, there's all kinds of stuff out there. And so as far as, quote, shaman healing, I don't think I'd want to claim that as anything special because some of them use all kinds of items, everything from bags full of stones and feathers and various other things they consider sacred to themselves or their tradition. And so I do things a little differently. Number one, as far as healing is concerned, the real key to healing is resolving the cause of the problem. And the cause of the problem, for the most part, is how one's reality is functioning. For example, if somebody has a reality that they have discord with power, well, they're going to naturally have problems with strength, back problems, and things of that sort. So yeah, you can take them out and get their back adjusted and do all that stuff and over again, and they'll just continue to repeat because the initial cause of the problem is not resolved. So, first of all, we have to determine what the what the nature of the problem is, or in other words, what the nature of the causes are. Are they on the father side, which has to do with money, power, respect, and credibility, or on the mother side, which has to do with long-term relationships, nurturing, children, family, power behind the scenes? And how did these things come around? Were they based on assumptions, or were they based upon actual trauma experience with that particular individual, or they were based upon an individual who was so perfect that we thought we could never get there? And the key here is once you find out where these things are located or the source of them, then it gives me a means to be able to find where it's located inside the individual. Once I find the emotional trauma that's associated with the memory or the event that the individual went through, I can go in, pull it out, and once I pull it out, I only have to do it once. It's permanent, it's gone. You'll have the memory, but the emotion will no longer be there. Now, how it affects the healing in that regard is, let's say go back to the issue on power. Well, money, power, respect, and credibility and strength are all father attributes. So if some individuals having problems with their kidneys or stomach area, and especially lower back area, is very common, and associated with power issues, then what's going to happen is when you remove the cause or the emotional component, the reality no longer needs to maintain that incorrect information, and the vital life force that naturally flows in the body starts flowing properly. When this happens, healing becomes automatic. So bottom line, a happy heart heals the body. And that's kind of the key on that. So you fix the cause of the problem first and then allow the rest of the stuff to kind of go on autopilot. You don't have to worry about it too much.
So you're helping them dissolve blockages, correct?
Well, the blockage is a good way to, kind of a good way to put it, but it's not quite accurate. Let's say that somebody determines that mother was dysfunctional, okay? And as that individual, grows up, you probably have seen back in high school, the best looking girl in class going out with a guy you know is going to be in jail in 6 months. That's a mother issue. Because if she has issues on the mother, let's say mother was dysfunctional or mean or unfair or whatever the case may be, so she has that belief, well, the first thing that happens is her reality readjusts and says mother is not dangerous because the intellect is collecting information and it doesn't have the ability to filter, so it says anything that is wrong with mother, everything's going to be wrong with mother. So as a result, what's going to happen is that individual is going to say in their reality, anything associated with mother is dangerous, therefore lock it up. The second thing that happens is as a result of this reality occurring, they have a big hole in their energy around themselves, and so what they want to do is they want to fill it. So the first thing they do, they go find people that they can heal.
Oh, wow.
And so therefore they always go after the hard luck cases. And they always go after the ones, even if the ones that becomes abusive and physically abusive and all that, they never want to press charges because they think they can heal them with that. And the reason that is they're trying to fill this emptiness with, let me find somebody I can heal so I can show the world how good of a mother I am.
So that's not really a blockage, it's a belief, is what you think it is.
It's a reality. Because there's a reality. There's a difference between belief and reality, okay? There are many beliefs that basically have been, I want to use the term diminished, and that's the best way I can put it. Whereas reality and actuality are two different things. For example, if we go back in the 1500s, they knew that water was dangerous to drink, but they didn't know why. And so they didn't understand, they didn't have enough the tools necessary to understand why, so they didn't know about the actuality of the microbes in the water making it poisonous to drink for them, or So that was a reality. So the reality is determined upon the information we know at that particular time. So therefore what is actual is the key here. So we're not dealing with belief or whatever. We can come up with conclusions and develop a belief from a conclusion, and we may be accurate, but the key here is you get to the point where the actual cause of the event is occurring, where the emotional trauma is located. You get that, you pull that out, and the reality no longer stands on its own, and it dissolves.
So you like to use the term dissolve.
Yeah.
Instead of like release, or are they the same?
No, it's completely different.
So what's the difference between release and dissolve? Because like some people will say, I'm going to release you of this. But you don't do that, so...
Not at all. No, actually, the dissolve is much more accurate because when I dissolve it, it turns into ones and zeros.
So it's like a neutral term, is what you're saying.
Yeah. For example, in computer terms, you have what is called erasing a hard drive. It's called secure erase. And you write ones and zeros on the hard drive, so it wipes it completely clean. That's called a secure erase. In this type of work, when we're looking at terms of ones, zeros, or dissolving the issue, is we're taking that which was formed. And what I do is I actually take the thought energy matrix and that which was formed, and I actually dissolve it. And when I dissolve it, I return it back to ones and zeros, or back to its neutral core. Therefore, it has no effect on anything. It has no substance, has nothing. It's basically the equivalent of air.
And you say that you can do these things permanently.
When I remove one of those items, it's gone. Done deal.
But can somebody re-manifest it?
They have to work like hell, yes. Excuse the expression.
That sounds good. Well, I want to thank you again, Charles, for being with us today. Mm-hmm. And if we want to find you, where can we find you?
Well, I'm located in Allen, and I do have a website, shamanic-enterprises.com. And I also have a second website, which is a mirror of the first, and that is called healerofheartsandminds.com.
And that's my favorite term. I love that. Now, I want everybody to listen to this. This guy is a healer of hearts and minds. So again, we'll come back to you again another time, Charles, but I appreciate you talking to us today. And that's it for now.
Thank you very much.